Welcome to the season finale of Tea in Beautiful Places. I'm going to call this episode Tea from Beautiful Places because we actually foraged wild plants in the Columbia River Gorge with Northern Emily of Wild Solitude Wilderness Skills School and Guiding Service.
You can do it anytime. There's a lot more to take in the spring, but spring is not a great time to learn because there is things are very new and tiny, and it can be difficult to identify, especially herbaceous plants. This is a licorice root, this little fern here. This is actually one of the commonest plants in this part of the gorge. It grows on hard surfaces in moss. This one's nice because it's got some nice exposed roots, so you can kind of see. You just dig your fingers in there. See this little rhizome here?
I'm here with my colleague and fellow tea enthusiast, Beth Quillian. We both have an active interest in foraging and really wanted to come out here and learn about making tea from wild ingredients.
Plants that we harvest roots from, we want to be really mindful about how much we're taking. So what you do is you want to wiggle your finger in here and look for the little green roots. They're usually on the outside. See this little tiny nub right here? That's kind of what we're looking for, but we want maybe a bigger piece than that. Oh no, that's a pretty good size. So you just get your finger in there. The green part is always going to grow on the outside. Probably if we could see underneath through here, there'd be just this big crisscross mat of all these brown roots. And we just want this little tiny piece.
So just that light green color is what we're looking for.
Yeah, and you just take your fingers and you just rub the little dirt and the bits off. Let's see, let me find another little piece so you guys can try some before we use it for tea. But we'll see tons of this as we go along as well. Then we get into the little nooks here. Oh yeah, look at this little guy.
Oh, that's so much more green.
Yeah, see how bright that is? Pretty easy to tell which parts you want to take. So really the thing that I really want everybody to take away from this class more than anything is just that we're surrounded by edible plants all the time. There's over 300 species of edible plants. Pretty much everything you see every day has an edible part. There's a handful of things that are really not palatable or are toxic or poisonous, but in the Northwest we're really blessed with lots of things that have some edible part that's palatable at least a few days out of the year. Okay. So this is a nice piece because it's got the root on it. Now my hands are really muddy. So I'm going to split this in half and you guys can use your less dirty hands to wipe off as much of the dirt as you want. Okay. And then it's not like a chew and swallow sort of a situation. Just bite down on it. That one's for you. Yeah.
Just bite it to get the flavor.
You just bite it to get the flavor.
Ooh, that's
So
sweet.
interesting. It's sweet.
It's super sweet.
It's sweet and very earthy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not really like a sugar sweet. It's kind of like stevia crossed with peas.
There's almost a little tingle that comes with it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. What else do we have here? We've got some wood violet in here. We'll see lots of that. These are nice in tea as well. You can also eat the little leaves as an herb early in the spring.
And then we're off to find our next ingredient, Western red cedar.
Cedar is really nice in tea. See the little light green pieces? That's the piece that we want.
Okay.
We don't need a ton of it. We're just making a little bit of tea. Conifers are really underappreciated food sources. Just really trees in general, I would say. People just don't look up or they don't think of that. So that's plenty. Lots of people like to have a cute basket for foraging and stuff. They can get moldy really fast.
Yeah.
But more than that, you just don't really need you don't really need that much of anything ever. My favorite tea plant. So we can talk about wild ginger.
Ooh.
So this is my friend wild ginger. He's handsome. Nice leathery, heart-shaped leaf. A little bit of hairs on the top, but not too hairy. Really nice veining. Just really like a handsome guy all around. This is a rhizome. That's what we're gonna eat. Is the little rhizome part. This is a very small patch. This plant is very slow growing. It only grows in undisturbed places. When I first started teaching foraging, I taught in the Tillamook State Forest. We don't have any of this out there. It doesn't grow in places that get trampled with machinery. It doesn't like being stepped on. It doesn't like being fucked with. It just likes mature forest. So see how we just have this one tiny patch right here? Look up the hill and you tell me where you think it come from. Look up the hill. See that big tree right there? Yeah. So this plant came from a giant patch that lives at the base of this old growth tree. Because the first time I saw this, I was like, that's so weird. Why would this be right here? And then there's nothing else connected to it. And then I saw that guy. So I'm going to go up the hill and pull a little section off. This guy I don't pick from because I teach 200 classes a year here. So we can't take from the display piece.
Yes.
But super handsome. If you ever go to the redwoods in Northern California, this is what is on, like the carpet on the ground at the base of all of the trees. He gets a really handsome little orchidy flower. It's kind of a shy flower. It likes to hide underneath the leaves. It's like a burgundy orchid with like little spirally spines. And I'm going to scramble up here and get us a section.
I have to say that Northern Emily is a fantastic teacher. She makes foraging seem almost easy, though it is decidedly not. I really enjoyed learning from her on this particular trip.
Here's a little piece right here. Again, I'm just taking from the end, right? Like you don't want to just dive into the middle of the patch. You always want to be on the outside. There's a little rootlet here I'm going to take out. And then that's our guy right there. I typically see it more in like drier forests and pretty well-drained soils. Yeah, and then at the base of this, it's incredible Doug fir. This guy is a couple hundred years old.
There are lots of things you can make tea out of in the forests in Oregon, but we have enough ingredients to actually go back and make our very first foraged cup of tea.
So first we're gonna wash our stuff. It's just like dirt and it's not that deep, but you don't want to taste it, so that's fine. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in here. Put some water in here. Fill line is just a suggestion, but I would consider operating a Jetboil like a pretty high-risk activity. So I feel like people really like to hyper-focus on some risks and ignore others. You should be afraid of your Jetboil. The cedar is surprisingly sweet and mellow. I used to teach homeschool, and this is a tea that I would make for the children. I do recommend the labor of children for harvesting anything, if possible. If you have access to the labor of children, I do recommend it. They have little tiny fingers, so they're just better.
They can get in there.
The little berries.
The dexterity.
And all of that. There's a little
This is the ginger root.
Ginger root. Here are the leaves if you want to kind of like get a better sense of the smell. It's a very earthy ginger smell. Sometimes I see the licorice fern and the ginger growing together, which is really cute. It's like a little ginger planting mixed with the licorice fern. We also do this with Doug fir tips, which is chill and easy.
So with most of these that you're making tea, you really want to tear up and kind of extract some of the...
Yeah, like the more surface area you can give them, the better. But they're all going to be pretty nice and mild and pretty chill. We don't want too many like extreme flavors. But yeah, blackberries are good in tea also. You can just mash a blackberry, you know. Blackberry leaves as well. Really nice, actually, blackberry leaf tea. Like, kind of like a super mild black tea. Kind of gives like oolong vibes. Let's see.
How long do you typically steep wild tea?
I just eyeball it, you know? Like probably for like a good amount of time.
When Norther says a good amount of time, she means at least 20 to 30 minutes. You need that time to extract all those flavors and scents. So we take the tea with us and go explore the area around Latourell Falls, learning so much about the edible plants all around us. Norther stopped and showed us several plants to avoid and really drove home the point of never taking too much when you're out foraging.
Yeah. Especially for these because they're so small.
They're good.
But yeah, they have that extra leathery coating on the outside.
We even stopped to try some wild coastal huckleberries.
So lots of tiny miners, lettuces in there. You can see all the little like fern. I don't even know, those aren't really flowers, but these little fern. I mean, I go to the woods a lot anyway, so if I like woke up one morning and I was like, man, I really like need some tea.
Yeah.
You know?
And could you steep this more than
Yeah.
so good?
That's nice.
You get like the little bit of the spiciness from the ginger and the
Yeah.
cedar is it's a good combination.
Yeah.
So this is the cedar and the ginger. What, is there
And
something else in
the
there?
licorice fern. The licorice fern gives it the sweetness.
Yeah.
And there's a little sweetness that comes with the ginger or with the cedar as well. Definitely don't have to have the licorice fern, but it's super abundant, so might as well toss it in there.
I like that little spiciness from the ginger too. That's like perfect. That just makes it.
I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah.
I brought some hot water.
Yeah, experiment. And so if I was going to add anything to this too, it would probably be like some rose hips. I would rip some rose hips in half and throw them in, and maybe like a couple of dried juniper berries. Some things keep better than others. You can definitely just like play around with stuff. I really like highly encourage people to just bring home little bits of things and fuck around and see how it goes.
What a wonderful way to end this year of exploring tea in beautiful places. Thank you for coming along this journey with me. I look forward to exploring tea in more places next year.